Let's say I asked you, what is the greatest team of all time? Many of you would say the 96 Bulls, many others might say the 2017 Warriors. Or what about the 2001 Lakers? Deeper b-ball fans might bring up the 83 Sixers or the 72 Lakers. What actually makes you the greatest team of all time? And is it possible that we are currently witnessing it in real time? There are two ways to determine how great a team is. First off is their record. You need to have a great record to be a great team. The second most important metric would be net rating. Net rating measures the difference between your offensive rating and your defensive rating per 100 possessions. This basically tells you how much more points you score than your opponent per 100 possessions. And saying per 100 possessions is just a way to adjust for pace, since different teams and different eras play at a different pace. So if a team really wanted to grab the title as the best team ever, they would first need to win the NBA championship. You absolutely cannot be in the conversation for the best team ever if you didn't win the championship. In addition to that, you would just need to have the best record in NBA history along with the best net rating in NBA history. Actually, pretty simple, right? Well, not quite. Last year, OKC won 68 games. This was the 5th best record in NBA history for teams that won the NBA championship. Remember, we are only considering teams that won the championship, which is why the 2016 Warriors are not in the discussion. OKC also had the 2nd best net rating in NBA history, only behind the 96 Bulls. So if the 96 Bulls have the best record in NBA history for a team that won the championship, along with the best net rating in NBA history, why aren't they universally considered the best team of all time? Well, they pretty much were, until this team showed up.
Durant attacks the rim!
We all know the story. The 2016 Warriors won 73 games and then added Kevin Durant. When something crazy like that happens, it's going to shift the scale as to what the best team ever is. The 2017 Warriors only won 67 games, which still does not match up to the 72 from the Bulls. In addition, the 2017 Warriors would only rank 4th in NBA history in net rating, still well below the 96 Bulls. So if the 2017 Warriors are significantly behind in win total and net rating, why are they still considered by many to be the greatest team ever? Well, obviously a lot of that is due to what we experienced and watched during that year. Steph and KD on the same team, with Klay still out there, was probably the most overwhelming offense we've ever seen. Most of us will never be able to get over how unbeatable that team felt. However, all of that is subjective. Even if you think the 2017 Warriors will beat the 96 Bulls, when we are comparing two teams across different eras, we need to compare them to what they did in their era. The average NBA player today is much better than they were back in the day, and with the explosion of the 3-ball and NBA offenses, most teams from this era would in fact beat teams of the old era. But that's not fair to the old era, so if we want to truly determine why the 2017 Warriors are in the conversation for the greatest team ever, there's a more objective reason we can look at. When it comes to the NBA, the postseason is always the final boss. Every great player and great team makes their name in the playoffs. When we look at the 2017 Warriors in the playoffs, we can see that they have the 3rd highest net rating in NBA history, while the 96 Bulls are only 5th. Furthermore, the 2017 Warriors have the best win percentage in playoff history, while the 96 Bulls are 11th. So while the 96 Bulls win the regular season metrics, the 2017 Warriors win the postseason metrics. It's the same reason why the 2001 Lakers, despite winning only 56 games and only having a net rating of 3.6, are still in the conversation for the best team ever, because they have the single best postseason net rating in NBA history, along with the 2nd best win percentage in NBA history. And some of you might say, no, it's just because they had Kobe and Shaq. But if that's the case, then why aren't the 2000 Lakers, who won 67 games and are top 15 in net rating, or the 2002 Lakers, who won 58 games and are top 25 in net rating, not in the conversation of the greatest team ever? So the point of everything I'm saying is to truly be in the conversation, you also need to dominate the playoffs. People remember dominance, and doing it on the biggest stage is what sticks in our memories. Last year's OKC Thunder are not really brought up in that conversation because they failed to dominate the playoffs. We all saw them struggle en route to going to multiple Game 7s. The numbers also reflect this, since despite having the 2nd best net rating in NBA history during the regular season, they were only ranked 17th in history during the postseason. Still an all-time great team, but not the greatest. So where does this bring us to? Well, this year's OKC Thunder. because they currently not only are on pace to have the best record in NBA history, but they also have by far the highest net rating in NBA history. Like, this is not even close. However, no one is really talking about it. Now don't get me wrong, people do talk about how great the Thunder are, and everyone knows they're by far the best team in the league. But when the 2016 Warriors were dominating the league, every day all people did were compare them to the 96 Bulls and talk about their historic dominance. With the Thunder, everyone just acknowledges they're great and then moves on. I'm not seeing the constant historical comparisons and conversations about them being the best team we've ever seen, because it is not an exaggeration to say that right now, the Thunder are playing better than any team in NBA history. Now, of course, they're not the greatest team in NBA history, as it's only been around 21 games and they have yet to win the championship. However, if the Thunder can keep up their win pace and their net rating, which is not impossible considering they were already doing similar things last year, couple that with translating that dominance to the playoffs and capping it off with another title, if the Thunder can do all this, well then, I think we found our answer to what the actual greatest team of all time is. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know down below how many games you think the Thunder will win this season. See y'all later.